Hello, Bella Vista. This is JB Portello. Welcome to In the Know. This program is produced after each monthly board meeting to give you a summary of the topics and the events going on at the Property Owners Association. In addition, these episodes are posted on the Facebook pages of the POA as well as the Bella Vista Community TV station. So sit back and enjoy being in the know. Hello, Bella Vista. JB Portello here, and my good friend Tom Judson. Tom, tell us about that last board meeting. I thought it was pretty fast.
It was fast. May have been motivated by the game.
I think it was.
Occurring at the same time.
Yeah.
Which turned out well.
Mm-hmm.
At least that night it turned out well. But we had a great meeting. So for our celebrating success, normally those are for employees. But we had such a great situation where Carol and Dale Phillips, can't remember which lake they're on. I think it's either Ann or Avalon, one of the A lakes. But they noticed it was on December 20th, so it was really cold. Someone had fallen into the water. These two boaters were struggling. They went down. They got them out of the water. As it turns out, one of the individuals had stage 3 hypothermia, so was in distress. They got him into a room, turned on the heaters, got him blankets, got him hot cocoa. It really helped him out. So, normally the celebrating success is for employees, but this was such a wonderful story. We decided to recognize Dale and Carol.
And I know both of them. I know Dale really well, and he is actually a retired park ranger. He's been all over the United States doing things, and he's so much fun to work with at the Historical Museum.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, and it all turned out great, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a couple of pretty key topics that were voted on as well. We are paying off a water bond?
Correct. So a couple of years ago, we determined, the finances for the water division is going so well. We created a 3-year schedule where we would pay it off early, that debt. And we made the first 2 installment payments, and in our 22 budget, we had it set aside where we were going to put all that money aside, and then we would pay the money at the end of this year. It would actually get registered in January of 23, but we were going to pay it through the year. And Stacy, our CFO, did some research, determined that if we pay it off before March 31st, we save $37,000 in interest.
Cool.
So we're doing great financially on the water side. Actually, on the POA side, on the whole POA is doing well financially. So we decided to pay off that debt early. It's $1.5 million debt. Our required payment for the year was $500,000. So it was an extra $1 million, and pretty soon we're going to be debt free. That's pretty cool.
That's right. And still enough money to do whatever we need to do.
Correct. What we didn't want to do is we didn't want to handcuff ourselves to pay off the debt early, and then can't do capital projects and those so forth. So we're still doing the $1 million water line replacement on Stonehaven and other projects and so forth. So we're not painting ourselves into a corner by paying this off early.
Exactly. Well, there was another very important vote at the board meeting. A little, controversial, but we have a chance here to explain what it is and why it is.
So we're going to go for another increase, another assessment increase, and we're asking for $3 more per month. So let's go back in time. If you remember that in 2020, we had not received an increase in our assessments for 19 years. We asked for $13. That was a big jump. We would much rather have an increase every 3 some odd years and smaller increases. So there's a 3-year moratorium between increases. So we're looking at the last one went in 2020. This one would kick in 23.
March of 23, right?
March of 23. So with this $3 increase, what we're looking at is that we would keep our fees the exact same for 3 more years. So if you recall, when we had the increase in the 2020 plan, our fees had gotten out of control. Every year we would raise our golf fee or raise the boating fee. And what would happen is we'd have a drop off in usage. But that's the only thing that we could do because we couldn't get an assessment increase for 19 years. So in 2020, we completely recast the entire fee schedule. We hit the reset button and we fixed all those rates, and all those rates have worked because, golfers are now paying, $33 to play golf. The boaters are paying a much more reasonable fee, and we're seeing boat registrations go up, golf rounds going up, utilization across the board is going up because we fixed all those rates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we promised that we guaranteed that we would keep those rates in place for 3 years. With this increase, with the $3, we're going to guarantee those same rates for 3 more years.
6 years, same fees.
6 years. So as a golfer, you're going to be paying, golfer, boater, you're going to be paying the exact same fee for 6 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Now there's a flip side to this.
Okay.
And the flip side is if we don't get the $3 increase, we're going to have to increase some of our usage fees. So we're going to see an increase in our golf fees, our boat registrations, even for gym usage, we're going to have to go up. So we're going to, spread it around so it's not hitting one area. We're going to spread it around, but we're going to have to do that if we can't get the $3 increase. I would much rather have a $3 increase, which is very modest, and we keep the fees the same for 3 more years. I'd much rather go that route than not have an increase in the assessments, and then we have to go down that vicious cycle of raising the amenity fees, and then we see a drop off in usage, and then what ends up happening? Okay, we drop off in usage, so we have to make up that money, so we're going to raise fees again, and it's a vicious cycle.
I have 2 hard questions for you. Are you ready?
Oh, absolutely.
I added one since
Okay.
we talked. First of all, is this improved lots or unimproved lots, or where's this $3 coming from?
This is improved only.
Uh-huh.
And that's a controversial issue. Well, a lot of people have differing opinions. But the reality is this is an amenities-based increase. The majority of our users of the amenities, absolutely the majority of our users are improved property owners that live here.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. We can run the stats. We've run the stats. We know that. The majority of users live right here. Now, everybody knows that person that lives in Bentonville, owns a membership lot, plays a lot of golf. Absolutely. But that's the exception.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them live here. And so we're keeping the fees the same, the amenity usage fees the same, and those are being used by property owners. So unfortunately, the out-of-town people, the unimproved property owners, they live in another state, they just don't use our amenities as much, and they're not going to value that increase as much.
Gotcha. Why do we need an increase, Tom?
Well, if you purchase gas or milk or groceries or, cost of everything is going up.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
It hits us just as much as it hits when you go to the grocery store. Fuel for our mowers, supplies, just go across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going up.
Gotcha.
And that's reality.
Mm-hmm.
But a $3 increase, that's very reasonable. I was talking to someone yesterday, kind of had an interesting conversation. We were talking about Bella Vista, and I go, hey, and they're considering moving here. And I go, hey, do you live in a planned community? And they said, oh, yeah. Yeah, I said, what are your fees? Oh, it's cheap. It's like $75 a month. And I started chuckling. I said, well, we're 37. And they're like, what? So $3, for everybody out there, I encourage you to talk to family members, to friends and everything that live in a planned community. Let's compare amenities, all 7 lakes, 7 golf courses, tennis, all that we offer, and ask them how much they're paying, I think you're going to be really surprised.
Yes.
You get a lot of value, but that value only goes so far. We need an increase.
So when does that start? When does the voting start? And when, what's the timeline?
So the cutoff for members in good standing is July 31st of this year. The election would start, or the vote would start August 10th. It would end on September 21st. We would have a 6 p.m. meeting for our membership on that day, and the vote would be revealed. And if it goes through, if it's approved, then it would kick in on March 1st of 23.
Gotcha.
If you recall, when we did the 2020 plan, we did it at the exact same time as budget season.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually had to write 2 budgets, and that's confusing to present to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So this will give us an answer on September 21st. It'll give us an answer before the budgets are finalized. So we can go into 23 with a clean budget. We'll know what the fees will be.
Will we still be able to be in Reardon Hall on the 21st to have that meeting?
Great question. I think no. I think we're going to start construction the first part of September, but who knows?
Who knows?
With all the supply chain and everything, that's a long way to go. Permitting, everything. We may have to go somewhere else.
Or, you're doing Facebook Live now, so a lot of people tune in that way.
Exactly.
And the results are not, they don't matter about who's there and who isn't, as long as we all can cheer somewhere in the background.
Yeah, I mean, last year's budget meeting for the entire community, we had one person attend.
Mm-hmm.
But we had about 300 people watch it at home.
Exactly.
Which is good.
Exactly. One other thing, well, first of all, let's just give a shout out to your new secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say who that is.
So Jessica McCreary is my new admin assistant, and she's the new corporate secretary for the POA.
Yeah.
So congratulations to her. She came from Branchwood, and she also worked at Reardon Hall. So it's a nice promotion for her. And she's doing outstanding.
She really is. She really is. Okay, one other thing. I think we've got a board election coming up. So you want to give a little info on that?
So the ballots are going to be coming out the first part of April. We encourage everybody to submit those. I think the meeting is on the 21st. I'd have to count, but it's the third Tuesday of May.
Okay.
So if that's not the 21st, then I apologize. It'll be at 6 p.m. and that's when we'll reveal who won. We have 5 candidates for 3 spots. Each spot is a 3-year term.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Do your homework. Their bios are on our website. Their videos, their pictures. You can get information, their contact information. If you want to contact the candidates to get information from them, go ahead. Do your research. Make an informed decision.
Absolutely. Well, I think we covered it, don't you?
Wait
a minute. You have some stuff for us.
So I'm going to quickly go over some stats. This is comparing 21 to 20. Golf rounds in 21 went up by 8,071 rounds, which was a 4.9% increase. Facility usage, like fitness centers, pool usage, it went up 39,375, which was a 33% increase. COVID impacted on that one because remember, the previous year we were closed for some time.
Right.
Boat registrations went up by 663, which is a 10.5% increase. Activity card purchases went up by 1,800, a 13% increase. And building permits, which is more of a city function than anything, went up by 171, which was a 41% increase.
Oh, yeah.
So across the board, utilization of our amenities has gone way up in the last year.
Absolutely. Great stats.
Great stats.
Great stats. All right. Well, let's sign off for now.
All right.
I think I have another guest.
Yes, you do.
A lake ranger. Oh.
Like he's going to arrest you.
Uh-oh, did I do something?
I'm sure you did. I haven't figured it out yet, though.
Well, anyway, let's take a quick break, and I'll see you next month.
I'll see you next month.
Okay. Hey there, we're back, and I have a great guest to introduce you to today, Jeff Walton.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So you are a Lake and Parks Ranger here at the POA.
I am.
What's it like being a park ranger or a lake ranger here?
It's fun. It's fun. Most of the core crew that we have are residents of Bella Vista. We're retired from previous careers, and we do this because we like our community, we like the amenities, and it keeps us busy.
What would a typical day be like for you?
Well, as the season heats up, as it is, we start off by opening up different things at the parks, like restrooms, and then we start doing checks and making sure that the folks that are at our amenities belong there. And we check for their membership cards.
You know, that's got to be a hard job.
Not really.
No?
You hate to have to move somebody along that doesn't belong, but it's for our members.
Mm-hmm.
And our members do appreciate that we're out there checking and making sure that the folks at our lakes and at our parks belong there.
Well, let's talk about your department, or how many of you there are, and you. Let's talk about Jeff.
Okay.
How long you been here?
Well, I'm starting into my third season
Okay.
as a lake ranger. So I enjoy it, and I've been fortunate to work year round, so I get to see all the seasons. So
Yeah. And how big is the department? How many of you are there?
there are 4 core rangers that stay year round, and we have been blessed this year to being able to hire our complement up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that should really help us increase our presence on our lakes.
So probably more activity on the lakes or parks, or is it pretty equal?
It's pretty equal. We have some high spots like Tanyard Creek and Blowing Springs that are very busy, and we do patrols through there to make sure everything's going well when we get there. But the lakes really pick up as the weather warms up. So the dams and the boating activity, that's our main focus.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you said, I'm sorry, I asked you this and I forgot because I'm old, okay? How many of you are there?
Right now there are 4.
4, but you're adding more?
We're adding more. We typically pick up more as we get into the season.
Yes.
And last year, that number was a total of 8. This year, a total of 10. So
Okay.
we feel blessed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you like to remind people of? What if you could give, some tips, Jeff tips, we'll call it, Jeff tips. What would you like to say to Bella Vista and our members?
Please remember to have your membership card with you, because we will be asking. We know a lot of people, a lot of our regulars, but as the season picks up, we're going to be asking just about everybody we see, even if we know them or not. And we have this year lime green boater registration stickers.
Oh.
And they're due to be on all watercraft by Friday. The 3-month grace period has come to an end, and April 1st, they're required to be on the vessel to be on the lake.
And that's no April Fool, that's for real.
That is for real. We're going to be out checking and asking folks if they don't have them to please depart the lake and get them before you come back.
Gotcha. You brought props. I like props.
Yes, and speaking of that, there's a lot of confusion about how to use those stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So the round one goes behind the the Bella Vista registration sticker on both sides of the vessel. And the square one, if it's a boat that's on a trailer, there's one of these on each side of the trailer tongue. If it's a kayak or a canoe that's coming on another vehicle, this goes on the back window of the vehicle. And that way we know when we drive up that boat and trailer has a good registration, or that kayak or canoe is good to go.
Yes.
So, and when you get those stickers, Membership Services provides a how-to of where they go, and we see a lot of confusion with that. We see the round stickers where the square stickers are, and we'll just leave you a note, and membership services can help you out and provide you more stickers if you need them.
I have a question about kayaks. So they're hard kayaks and they're inflatable kayaks.
Yes.
So even stickers on inflatables?
Yes, and what you can do and what works the best is a piece of plastic or plexiglass for those inflatable waterboards or kayaks, or is to put these on that, then affix that to your inflatable, because they won't work if you roll up your inflatable. They're just going to pop off.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like a pocket that's protected, or what?
Just a piece of plexiglass with a manner to affix it to your inflatable.
Oh, so you can take it off and put it.
Yes, and you can roll up your paddleboard or your kayak.
I have so much trouble blowing those suckers up. They're hard to do. And I was trying to figure out how, where's that sticker going to go?
Right.
So if I'm out there, you're going to be watching for me now, aren't you, to make sure I have my sticker?
Yes, we will.
Uh-oh. The perils of actually interviewing lake rangers. Jeff, is there anything else you'd like to share with our members before you take off for today?
Yes, I'd like to remind everybody about safety concerns that we have on the lakes. One of the big ones is having excessive wake and no wake areas.
Oh, yes.
And to help everybody understand, there's 3 lakes where you can have a wake and ski or tube, and that's Ann, that is Windsor, and Loch Lomond. And on each of those lakes, when you put in at the boat ramp, you'll see a graphic similar to this. And this graphic explains exactly where you can be when you're towing, skiing, or creating a wake. And I encourage everybody to be mindful of that, especially as the lakes get busy. We'll have a lot of people out there. Some of them don't have very much experience, and so we have to really look out for everybody else. And life vests.
Oh, yeah.
Life vests. Have to have a life vest on the vessel for every person in there. And anybody 12 and under must have it on at all times. So that's one of our main concerns.
Gosh.
And people that go out in the lake to swim, if they're on a vessel, we ask them to get into a no-wake area and not be on the main body so they don't get run over.
Anything about parks?
Parks, we have some parking concerns in some of our parks. So we ask everybody to be mindful of parking where they're supposed to, use the overflow areas as they're indicated. And a lot of these this is the public coming in that aren't necessarily members that we are trying to educate and make our parks a better place to visit without having traffic jams.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, it was really nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
And I hope to see you out there. And thank you for everything you do. It's like you said, I wouldn't want your job.
No, it's a great job, really. We'll hire you. We're hiring.
Okay. All right. Well, at any rate, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bella Vista, I hope you learned something today. I certainly did. Get to know this guy. He's pretty important, and it sounds to me like he's very willing to educate you on especially the lakes and the safety.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. To stay in the know, join us next month.